Okay, so I think most of you guys already classmates. Okay. Any question from chapter 2? Need to explain to you guys. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to give you some brief introduction to chapter 2. Right? In chapter 2, we're mainly working on summarizing graph data. Recording this Zoom meeting section, and later I will post the section video via top level course. So chapter 2 is on summarizing and graphing data. And the main benefit of the summarizing graphing data using different tools, right? We can call different graphs, is to understand the distribution of the data values. So main benefit or the major like distribution, major benefits of this is to understand the distribution. All right, so let's understand the distribution of the data values. And basically, it goes back to 5 important elements in descriptive statistics. Which is the CV DOT. So C is center, right? That's the first element. So based on the graph, we'll be able to see the center of the top, right? Secondly, it's variation. How much variation we have. So V represents variation. And obviously, the element is the distribution, and D represent the distribution. And then fourth one is outlier. O represent outlier. And so if you have an outlier in your data set, usually you will get rid of them, right? That's most of the point. You look into that, do some thorough analysis, usually we'll get rid of them. And T is the changing characteristics of the time. So based on the graph, right, we can get typically from the graph, get all those 5 elements. So that's major benefits of the graphs. And the most popular ones, popular graphs. The first one is a histogram. Secondly, pie chart, right? Third one is scatter plot. Scatter diagram. Fourth one is box plot. Yes. We're going to use we're going to mainly focus on scatter plot. Scatter plot. That's for the regression, right? The regression comes from the scatter plot. So scatter plot will give us the relationship between 2 variables. And also box plot will give us the distribution as well. We're going to talk about that in chapter 3. So in this class, we're going to concentrate on histogram and pie chart. Okay. So before we go over those chapter 2 homework assignments, do you guys have any questions? Or proceed? Okay. Feel free to stop me, right, if you have any questions. And now let's jump to the chapter 2 homework assignments. Let's move on to chapter 2. Let's look at chapter 2.
Hi, Professor.
Hello, yes.
Excuse me. I cannot hear you very well. Your voice is breaking up.
Yes, the internet. Yeah, I know, because of the snowstorm. So I'm gonna make it a little bit louder. But
Okay.
later, right, I will recording this Zoom meeting. I will post the YouTube video via our Blackboard course. So again, if you could not hear something, very clearly, you can always check back later, right?
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. All right. So now let's look at the question number 1. We get this. This is what we call a histogram. Histogram, in a typical histogram, we have 2 elements. We have a column, right, and then row. Column basically has an age group in different classes, and the second column, it's a frequency class, right? So now here we want to find out the relative frequency for this particular with a class limit of 31 right here. I'm gonna do a screenshot. I'm gonna show you the detailed solution here. Okay, let's look at it. So we want to find out the relative frequency for the class with a lower limit is 31. So that would be this class right here. Okay, so this class, which is fifth class in our histogram. This is called the frequency distribution table. Have 2 elements, right? Losses and with the corresponding frequencies. Here, frequency indicates amount of data values for each class, right? And that means for the first class, there are 10 data values. 10 students has age is located in the age group 15 to 18. That's what it means. And okay, so let me see if I can. 1 second, guys. Let me see if I can switch to a different Wi-Fi. I'm gonna try a different Wi-Fi, see if it works better. Okay. All right, and then that means 6 students belong to the second class. 8 students belong to third class, etc. Right? And then 10 students belong to the last class right here. So, and then one quick question. Anybody know what is class width? Yeah.
Could you repeat that again?
Will be the class width.
Yeah, no, we still cannot hear you clearly, Professor.
Oh, we cannot hear me clearly. Oh, okay. It's a lot of noise. What does it sound like?
No, it just keeps on cutting off, and we can't really like hear you clearly.
Okay. All right. Okay. So let me. I already switched to a different Wi-Fi. Because it's maybe the snowstorm has some impact on it. On those lines, so a little issue with that, but hopefully it's a little bit more stable with that with this Wi-Fi right here. But is it getting better or not really?
It's about the same.
It's about the same. Okay. Let me try another one. Let's see if this one works. I have 3 different I'll connect. Yes. How about now? Is it better?
Yeah, it should be better. If there is any issues, I'll let you know.
Okay, great. That's great. So first of all, we're gonna look at the class width. Anybody know what will be the class width here?
I can say is the lower the class, you know, the lower, like when we say you take like the 15 and 19 and 23, the
Very
different.
good. The difference between 2 consecutive lower class limit. That's very good. So 19 minus 15 give us. Right? You can also use difference between 2 consecutive upper class limit, which is 22 minus 18. That's good. Also, you could do within each class, right? You can do 18 minus 15 adding 1. That's also equal to 4. Anybody know why do I add 1 there?
Say that again.
So why not just 18 minus 15? Instead, I add a 1 in the back. Anybody figure out? Anybody realize why do I add 1 here? Why do I add this one right here? Why not just 18 minus 15?
We try to find the universal data of different age group.
Right. So think about this. Between 15 to 18. That is 15, 16, 17, 18. The reason why I bring this up because later on, I'm going to show you guys how to create a histogram from scratch. And this is very, very important information for us to successfully construct a frequency distribution table and a histogram because there are 4 numbers here, right? So if you just do 18 minus 15, we skip in the first number. That is why I add 1 here to make sure we count in the first number or starting number in that class. Right. So 3 different ways of doing finding a class width, right? And you can do subtracting 19, 15, and subtract 22, 18. You can do upper class limit, lower class limit, adding 1, right? They all arrive at the same answer for. And this is just different ways of looking at the class width, because class width is a key element. It's like the backbone of the entire frequency distributed table. Now let's look at, so that's basically a little explanation on the frequency distributed table here. Now, in order to find out value frequency for this is the 5th class. We're using the class frequency, which is 9, right? Over total frequency. What's going to be the total frequency here? You add 6, 8, 5, 9, right? That would be 16, 24, 29, 38, 48. 16, 24, 29, 38, 48. That means that the random frequency here will be 9 over 48. And you're going to turn that into a decimal number, right? You could just gotta do 9 over 48. And you can use your calculator or Excel. 9 by 48 because only 1/875. Okay, so that turn that back into the percentage of the 18.75.
18%.
Yep. So, all right. So the answer will be 18.75%. Any question about this?
I'm sorry, Professor. Can you repeat how did you get the 9 again?
Now is that class frequency, right here. They want a variety frequency for the class with a lower class limit of 31, meaning they want us to focus on this class right here. And for this class,
Okay.
the class frequency is 9, and the total frequency is the total, meaning total frequency is the same thing as saying the sample size. We're using n to represent the sample size. It's the same thing. That means they are interviewing 48 students in this particular survey. They come up with this frequency distribution table.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, no problem. So the answer will be 18.75%. I did not run it, right? You can leave as is, not a problem. I'm gonna submit it. You see, it's a correct answer. All right, so that's question number 1. Question number 2. We get this. Okay, so let me screenshot this. And I'm gonna go through the tidying process, right? And then complete the frequency distribution table. Okay. So let me share the screen with us. Okay, here you go. This is our data set. Let's say you conduct a survey, you collect the data values, and this is the entire data set you have here. And how many data values are there? Any suggestion? Without data value. So you get 6 data values in a row, right? And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. So 6 times 5, that will be 30 data. Okay. So that's the sample size. We have some idea about this particular data set, or this particular sample. Now we're just gonna type in the data set and then decide how many data values belong to each group. So first of all, for the first group right here, between 20 and 29, let's just go back there and counting how many data values are there, right? So 24, 20, and 30. 3 data values is located in the first class, so frequency will be 3. Okay. And then for the second class, how many data values? Will be this, and this, right? 3 data values. And then for the third class, 40 to 49, right? So that would be this. Now we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 data values. And then for the fourth class, and we get 50, 51, 52, 57. Okay. So that will be 4 numbers. 3 plus 1. 4 data values. Now fifth class. Between 60 to 69, so 3 right here, 4, 5, 6, right? 6 data values. 3 here, 3 here. So total will be 6. And that's it. And the 6th data value. Let's see. All right, 6 will be 72, 75, 75, 76, 76, 77, 78, 79. 3 here, another 5 here. The total is 8. Okay. And then the last class only have 1 data values. Okay, we only get 80, right? So now, is there any way we can double check? Like, how can we validate our answer here. Any suggestion? You can get a total, right? One way to do it is you can get a total. If total matches with this sample size, that's why this is important information. That means probably you have the right tally, right? Tally the data set and counting amount of data value for each class. So this is 6, 5, that would be 11,
30.
15, 21. Yes, that would be 30. Okay, it does match with the sample size. So most likely, right, we have the right tally. That's how we cross validation this particular result. Any question about this? Let's put back the answers 3, 3, 5, 4, and 6, 8, 1. 6, 8, 1. Okay, so that should be the correct answer. So let's check it. Yes, all good. That, nothing wrong here. Let's look at question 3. So basically, we have this frequency distribution table right here. Based on the graph, we want to find out the cumulative frequencies. So let me screenshot this. All right, I'm gonna share the screen with you all. Here we go. Now let's look at it. We want to find out the cumulative frequency. Meaning we are accumulating the frequency of the previous classes up until the class with the lower class limit of 27 millibits, right here. Both classes we're talking about. And then we are accumulating the first 4 classes. The frequency from the first 4 classes. That's why it's called cumulative frequency. So that'll be 10, 9, 6, 3. Now it's 19 adding 9, 28. That's a cumulative frequency right there. Any question, thoughts? Okay, so we get a right answer. Now, let's look at this one. This one is a little bit more trickier, right? So right here we get a we already have a researcher got the data on our video games played by school age children, right? And young adults to collect the following data. So let me first of all screenshot this. So this is context. Now from the context, we want to create this frequency distribution table. So now, how should we approach this? One way to do it is just gonna scan through the whole thing, right? So basically, you look at this and then start counting how many numbers in the first class, right? Or you can do a quick sort. Sort it from smallest to largest, right? That's another way of looking at it. From smallest values, from the minimum value to maximum value, right? Minimum to the maximum value, largest value. That's one way to do it, right? So then we start with the 0, right? That would be the smallest 0. And counting how many ones, right? Next number will be 1, 0, couple zeros, 2 zeros. Once you tally them, you cross out that. And we're counting ones, right? It's 1, 1, 1, 1. Yeah, so it'll be 4 ones. Now there are no 2, right? Yeah, that's 2. 2. 2. Then only 1, 2, yeah, another 2 right here about it. Make sure that will be a couple 2s. Now 3, we go down to 3. Check all of no 3, right? No 3 here.
Don't have
Yep.
3.
No have 3, very good. And then move on to 4. Okay, so now we get a
Yeah,
no
1,
4.
2,
Yes,
2, 4.
1, exactly. So 1 here, another one here. So basically we cross out that. So when you already pick those values, cross out that. So we do not double counting, or it doesn't create a confusion for us later on. Now let's look at 5, right? 5 is, there's 1 here, okay. On first row, second row, there's no. Third row, there's no. Fourth row is no, only 1 5. And let's see 6. There's no. 6.
1, 6.
1 6, very good. This one, right? Right here. So 1 6. Then we move down to 7. Any 7 here?
No 7.
No 7. Great. How about 8? One of them here, right?
1, 8.
Another 8. And that's all. 2 8. All right. Now let's move on to 9. 1 9.
1, 9.
That's all, right? That's very
Yeah.
good. How about 10?
2, 10.
2 10. This one, this one. Any other 10s? Let's see. No. A couple of 10s. The next one would be 11, right? How many 11?
2, 11.
2 11. Yes. Couple 11. And then 12, right? How many 12?
No 12.
No, there's a 12 here. Only 1 12, right?
1, 3. Sorry.
No problem. Yeah. And then 13. How many 13? 1 13, right? 2 13. 3 13. 4 13. 5 13. Right here. So that's a lot of 13s here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 13. 13, 13, 13, 13, 14, 13. And make sure you do not skip any numbers, otherwise your result will be off. And so you can cross out that 13, 13, 13, 13, 13. Then is there any 14 here?
1.
Yes, 114
One.
right here. Yes. And then 15,
1, 2.
2, right? 2
Two.
15. Yes, exactly. 15, couple 15. And then 16, 1,
2.
2,
2, right? Yeah, very good. 2,
3,
3.
Yeah, 3.
More,
16.
yeah, 3, 16, exactly. And 17, 1,
5.
2, 3, 4,
4,
5,
6.
6.
6.
Very good. Now, one thing we should double check is making sure this, after we tally this, we do not skip any numbers. And one way to confirm that is counting how many numbers here, right? 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So you get 3 rows, 10 times 3. Adding the last row only have 8 numbers. We should have 38 data values here, right? 3 rows, 3 complete rows. Each row has
Professor, I
numbers.
think there's 4 rows.
Yes, that's follow. The 4th row is 8 numbers because that couple numbers here is not there. That's why I'm adding the 4th row, which is 8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the sample size will be 38, right? And we just want to make sure, here we have the same amount of data values here, right? So you just gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 31, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. So we confirm that. That means, see, we double check. It means it's good. we probably we have the right way to sort it, right? Now, from there, we can start. It's a lot easier from here, so we're just checking how many data values belong to the first class. So with those numbers, right? Okay. So 2 number, 4, 6, 8, 8 numbers. So the answer is 8. Now, let's get down to the next one, right? From 3 to 5. So you're gonna see will be those 3 numbers. So that'll be 3. Okay. Then next one from 6 to 8, we're gonna have 3 numbers as well. 1, 2, 3. The next number, next class 9 to 11, right? So it's gonna be 5 numbers. Okay. And then next class, let's see, from 12 to 14. So we have those numbers and this number. So this, adding this. There's 2,
Then
4, 6, 7, 8. 8 numbers. Okay. Then next class 15 to 17 will be the remaining classes. Okay. So let's see, 2, 4, 6,
11.
8, 11, right? 10, 11. Very good. 11. Then we could double check, right? We could double check, just get a total here, adding those numbers. 11, 14, 19, 27, 38. 38 matches with this, matches with this. So that means we probably have a correct answer. Now, how do we find the relative frequency here?
Say again.
Find the relative frequency. So you're gonna do A over class frequency over the total frequency. That means A over 38. I'm not in Excel, and I'm gonna show you a detailed calculation here in Excel. Just in case, you want to get all the numbers in one shot. And let's get those numbers. So, okay. Let me copy the numbers. From that. Okay. And screenshot. So we go 8335811. 8335811. Okay. Share this with you guys. That's the classes. And frequencies. We have you see how many classes. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 classes. And the frequencies. We get that. 6 classes. So first one is 0 to 2. 1, 3 to 5.
6, 8.
Yep. So let me quickly modify this for myself. 3 to 5. So once that happens, finish that like 6 to 8. I will fix that later. That's 11, 13 to 15, 17 to
I didn't find it.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? Okay, 8 to, yes, this number because of the formatting, so I'm going to format this the text. This one is 6 to 8. And this one is 9 to 11. And then we get 12 to 14, 15 to 17. Again, this is not correct format in the text, and 12 to 14. All right, and then we get those. I'm gonna quickly create a table here about this, just like what we did earlier on the earlier class. Okay, and I put in the frequencies. Just transfer all the numbers. 8, 3, 3, 5, 8, 11. 8, 3, 3, 5, 8, 11. We get all of that, and then let's get a total here. Really quick. So highlight those numbers, get an auto sum, right? Total 38. That means we get no mistake there. And then we want to get the value frequency, so we need another frequency. We need another column. And just quickly format this. Okay, now we're gonna do 8 over total, right? 8 over 38. That. And next one we'll do 3 over 38. 3 over 38. And then 5 over 38. Okay. And then 8 over 38. It becomes a 8. So format cells, if that happens, change the numbers, right? Original. So then we can do that. 8 over 38. And last one is 11 over 38. All right, so if you sum up this, all the value frequencies, we're supposed to get 1, right? 100%. And then basically we're going to turn this into a percentage for ourselves, enter the number, percentage, right? And then we want one decimal place. So yeah, that's all the percentage we are talking about here. Yeah, so that's what they want you to do, right? Get these value frequencies. Okay, and let's go back here. And do they want us to have a so we're gonna put in all the numbers, right? 8, 3, 3, 5, 11. 8, 3, 3, 5, 8, 11. And value frequency, let me see, they want a decimal numbers. So they don't want percentage actually. So you don't need to convert to percentage. I'm gonna go step. And if you want to copy paste, you can do that, right? You can just copy paste the numbers. Let me see if I can copy the whole row here. Copy. Let's see if we can paste everything here. I don't think so. We have to copy one thing at a time. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do side by side. Just move a little bit to the other side. Go back. I'm just gonna copy all those numbers. If you want, you can just copy paste, right? That's not a problem. Copy paste. Yeah, copy paste. And it's the same number, so you just paste it. Copy, paste. Then copy paste. And this one, copy paste. And last one, same thing, copy paste. Copy paste it. Okay, all these numbers. And first of all, you can double check the answers. You can show we put in the right answers here. It says it's almost full credit, right? Because we didn't pick a correct histogram yet. So basically, going from this, we get a frequency distributed table. I'm going to turn into the histogram. And let's look which one is the correct graph here. What do you think? So it's A33583, right? So it's A335, 8, 11. To be the first option here, right? So this answer. The first option is the right option. Frequency 8, right? 0 to 2, and 3 to 5, and then 6 to 8, 9 to 11, 12 to 14, and then 15 to 17. That means first one is the correct answer. Then we find out the answer for this one. All right, so we got it. Right? So here you go. So that's how we construct the relative frequency table and also the histogram. Now, question 5 is about a pie chart. So let's quickly review this. So pie chart is another way of visualizing the distribution of the data values in this case. So let's see. We get this student Chastity. Right? Chastity categorizes spending into months in 4 categories. We get food, rent, others, and a fun. And so basically, if you add up those 4 items, 100%. And then Chastity spent $2,300 this month. How much did she spend on fun in this category here? You do 15% of the total spending, right? Times $2,300. So 15% is 0.15 times 2,300. And that should be the answer. So one more time, let's see. We can use an embedded calculator here. Open the calculator. And right here, you type in 2,300 times 15%. You can do 15%. 15% of 2,300. Right, you get 345. So the answer is she spent $345 on fun. And you can also do just the 2,300 times 50%. No, just 15 over 1.5. Right, 345. So the embedded calculator is pretty powerful in this case. Any question about this? All right, no questions. Very good. Submit it. Now let's look at this, right? Alonso's monthly budget. So you have different categories here. And then you want to find out total budget for Alonso. And what is Alonso's full budget per year? Assuming that 4 weeks in the month will be Alonso's budget for 1,000 per week. So let me just quickly screenshot this. So you get all the complete pie chart here. Just have to analyze it a little bit to get the answer. Okay. So first of all, how do we find out the total budget for Alonso? Budget. So add up all the numbers, right? 1 through this number, this number, this number, this, and this. So total budget. It's going to be 1120. I'm going to start with the highest number, 160. Right? I'm going this. This is what we call the clockwise. No, counterclockwise. Right? I'm going counterclockwise, and then 39. And 35. Phone bill, gas bill, then entertainment bill, utility spendings, and then miscellaneous, and also transportation spending. So we get the total. And then one more time, you can use the embedded calculator here. Open the calculator, or you can just typing the numbers one by one. So 1120, adding 560, adding 4935, and adding 168. Adding 4935, 168, 98, 140. Next number will be 420 and then 210. 420 and 210. We get $2,800 total, right? That's a total monthly budget. $2,800. Now we can just do a quick check right here. It's good, right? Means 2,800 is good. So what is Alonso's full budget per year? So he's spending $560 per month on full, right? Per year will be, each year has 12 months. So we're just gonna do um 560 times 12. 560 multiplied by 12. So $6,720. $6,720. And assuming that let's just quickly check it. Right, it's good. Check mark here, it's good. Then next thing is assuming that 4 weeks in a month will be Alonso's budget for housing per week. So the housing is 1120, right, a month, and each month has 4 weeks. 1120 over 4. That's weekly budget. So that would be $280. Okay, so that will take care of these 3 different options here. And so we get that. Any question about this? Okay, so that's pretty much everything on the chapter 2 exercise. So now let's get to the next thing is I'm going to show you how to do a histogram, right, from the scratch. Let's go to our Blackboard course and go to our under the Excel demonstration. Oh, now from here, go to Excel project demo. Okay. And now we're going to open the histogram demo here. It will be the Excel file. Right, let's see. Let's open that. And I will share the screen with you in a second. Enable editing. Okay, this is 14 actual high temperatures. 1 second. I'm gonna share the screen with you guys. No, actually, not this file. Let's skip this one. Let's open the other one. It's called a demonstration for project number 2, which is this Excel project number 2 demo. That's the one I want to go over. Okay, and let's open a file. And again, I'm going to share the screen with you in a second. All right, this is the one. Enable editing, and let me share the screen with you. So this is our data set, right? It's about grams of the fat in the McDonald's breakfast. That's the context for this. For this data set here is a gram of fat. So we're going to create a histogram for this data set. So first of all, I'm going to copy this I'm gonna paste into the this a page, paste it here. So we got this data set right here. Okay, so I don't need this many. Let me see. Let me see. I don't want to copy so many rows. So 1 second. Let me do this really quickly. Go back to this. Let me just copy this. Copy this entire data set. Now let's paste into this. Okay. So now let me share the screen with you all. Okay, here we go. And I'm gonna make it slightly bigger. So now we get this data set here. This is about lines of in McDonald's reference. And this is real data set. If you go to McDonald's website, you'll be able to extract those information. Now, so basically we have data set. Now we're gonna create a first task is to create a frequency distribution table. With 6 classes. Secondly, we're going to construct a histogram on the frequency distribution. Construct the histogram. First of all, if you look at this data set, is it solid yet? If you go through, scan through that, we start with the smallest number 3 and then increasing, right? So it's already been solid. This is solid already. In increasing order. Which is good. That means we don't know the minimum and the maximum and everything between, right? So if you look at how we construct the frequency distribution table, the procedure, let's run through the procedure of creating frequency distribution table. So step number 1, decide on number of classes. And I already decide on that, right? I already specify it's going to be 6 classes. So decide on the number of classes. This is step number 1. We got that. Secondly, calculate the class width, right? We calculate. Or come up with the class width. So in this case, class width, usually we're using maximum value minus minimum value over no classes. And since it's already been tallied, so that means we know both minimum value. This is the minimum. It's 3. Maximum value is 59. So that we know both. So it's going to be 59 minus 3. Number of classes is 6. We all have 6. Now it's going to be 56 over 6. We could divide that, we end up with 9.333. 56 by 6.
9.8.
Yes. So it will be 9.333. Goes on forever, right? And then usually now we're going to decide on the actual class width. Usually we will use the next whole number. And if you next whole number of this will be 10. One quick question, can we use 9 here? Any suggestion? Instead of using 10, can we use 9?
No, because then it wouldn't go up to the highest, the maximum value.
Exactly. Very good. Exactly, Marjorie. So basically, no, 9 is not working. Because if you did 9, probably this last number here may not have a class, right? It may not belong to any class because it's short. Later, you will see that. So that's why in terms of determining the class width, we always go up next whole number. Sometimes go up to 2 numbers. That's normal. So 9.333, we're gonna do 10. So that's why the class width must be 10. Also, 10 is a convenient number. If you're using 10, that means you're probably gonna get very nice structured classes, which is a lot better. Okay. Now, third one is determining on the starting point of the first class, right? So determine on decide on determining the first lower class limit. So any suggestion? Can we use 3? Is that okay? Three is okay, right? Definitely you can use 3. How about, can we use 1? Can we use 0? So this is the flexible part. Actually, you do have 3 options. You can use 3, which is the smallest value, minimum value in our data set. That's okay. That works. That always works. But if you want your class look a lot better, meaning with a lot clear pattern here, 1 or 0 would be better. So here I'm gonna decide to use 1. Right? 1 will be the option here. Now that's so once you have the first lower class limit, then find the first upper class limit. What would that be? If the class width is 10, find the first upper class limit. Any suggestion? Is it gonna be 9? Is it gonna be 10? Or is it gonna be 11? How do we know for sure? Okay, the correct answer will be 10, right? And basically, let's try this, right? You can assume this is, we don't know what that number is. You can assume this is X. So your first class will look like this, 1 to X. Right? This is the first class. Now using a little bit algebra and from earlier example, that's why I point out that earlier. The class width will be calculated using x minus 1, adding 1. And that should be equal to class width. And that is why this is important. So we set up the first simple linear equation here, solve for x equals 10. All right, cancel that. Right, we get 10. That's why first upper class limit is 10. We can also look at it as this, between 1 and 10, right? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. As you can see, these are 10 numbers because our class width is 10. Also, we'll point out to this. And that's the reason why it has to be 10. So now we get this first upper class limit. Now, basically, we can construct the inequality. So from there, we decide on the construct great order classes. And the way how we do it is by using the class width as the pattern here. So again, we get two things going on here. First one is classes. Second one is a frequency. Need 6 classes, right? So with a different color in the time. So the first class, second class, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Okay. And we already know the first class, right? It's going to be between 1 to 10. And this is first. How do we get to the second class? Using the class width. Any suggestion? So you do 1 adding 10, that's 11. 10 adding 10, 20. 11 adding 10, 21.
21, 30.
Yes. Next class.
31, 40.
Okay. Next class.
41, 50.
Exactly. This is fifth, and then last
51.
class. And how do we know if we have the right classes? Like we set it up properly. Any way to make sure that happens for our frequency distribution table. Then the most important thing is we're gonna make sure, right? Minimum and maximum belong to a certain class. Once you guarantee that, you have the proper frequency distribution table. In this case, 3 belong to the first class. 59 belongs to the last class. That means it's good. Okay, that means this is perfect. Okay, so now we're gonna tally the. So now the last step is tally the data set. Get all the frequencies, right? Of the data set. Data values. All right, so you're counting how many numbers belong to the first class. So this is gonna go up, right? Check how many numbers between 1 and 10. It looks like only 2 numbers. 1 sec. Go back. As you can see, only 3 and 9, right? Those 2 numbers. So that means frequency for the first class is 2. All right. Now, second class between 11 to 20, and again, we'll go up. 11 to 20, now do this. 11, 12, 16, 16. That'll be 4 numbers. Okay. Now between 21 to 30, right? Third class. Let's see, 21 to 30. That's gonna be, let's see, we're gonna circle all the numbers belong to the third class. That's gonna be 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, right? That'll be 9 numbers here. So the third class has 9 numbers. 21 to 30. 31 to 40. 31 to 40. Okay,
6.
that's gonna be, is that 5? 31 to 40, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, that'd be 5 numbers.
Yes, 5.
Yes.
Sorry.
No problem. Okay, and then next class 41 to 50. Again, 41 to 50, only 1 number here.
1.
Yes, exactly. And then the last 3 numbers belong to the last class, right?
Yeah.
You see, 51, 55, 61, 3 numbers. So we finished the tallying part, right? Now, one way to double check again is getting the total. So you're gonna add up all those numbers. It should be the sample size, right? So let's see, it'd be 6, 15, 20, 21, 24. So we get a 24 item menu from the McDonald's breakfast, right? We get 24 items here. So that's the sample size. Now, once you have the frequency distribution table, this is the frequency distribution table. And we can easily turn it into a histogram. This to histogram. If you do it by hand, I'll just quickly show you. I'm gonna use some different colors here. Construct this. So you can do this, right? For this. Now we're gonna have 6 classes. So each class will have the same length. The first class, second class, third class, fourth class, fifth class, and a 6th class. Okay. Then underneath it, yeah, it's a different color all the time. So for the first class is 1 to 10. Second class, 11 to 20. Third class, 21 to
30.
31 to 40, 41 to 50, and then 51 to 60. Okay. Now, as you can see, the maximum frequency will be 9, right? So we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're gonna mark it. Yeah, we get all of that. But again, I'm gonna use a different color for each one of those. Let's start with the first class. I mean the first class. We got 1 to 10, right? The frequency turned out to be 2. You're gonna draw a rectangle box, and then you're gonna fill in the colors here. That will be the first class. So basically, each class has a rectangle box on top of it. Second class, maybe 11 to 20, that'll be 4, right? 4. Frequency will be 4. Now you're gonna see this is our we take care of second class. The third class is 9. Third class in the maximum frequency here. How we get that? And then we take care of the third class here. And then fourth class,
It's 5.
yes, it's gonna be 5, right? So you know 5, we do this. Show the boundary here, 2 different colors. Okay. That, and then the 6th class and the 5th class would be any one. So the frequency is, I'm gonna use a different color. It's easier that way. So now about it. Let me check the ones here. Okay. And then large class has frequency 3. One more color. And 3. Okay, 3 here. Yeah, here we go. Now you can see the overall distribution. Anybody have a comment on this distribution here? What do you notice? It's not low, right? 2. And then 4. Reach the maximum, right? And start to come down. 5. Then it's 1. Then it's 3, right? So start low. Start with the low frequency and increase, keep increase, right? And then come down, increase to maximum and decrease. It looks like we have something like this, right? Some kind of, so we can use this curve to get an overall distribution, what it looks like. And then this is a description of that. I will say, in this case, we can feed a little bit of bell curve, right? But not a perfect bell curve. And this is a kind of typical trend for a normal distribution. Right? Start low, increase the maximum, and decrease. Okay. And that's basically how you construct a frequency distribution table and histogram by hand. Again, I just run through a concrete example here, right? Following all different steps. It's also from your PowerPoint. To review all the PowerPoints, it should be fairly straightforward. Okay. Now, next thing, I'm going to show you. Let me see how much time. All right, we still have about 20-something minutes. So now I'm going to use the same data set. And then I'm going to show you how to get it done in the Excel very quickly. Right. And let's go back to the Excel file here. Share the screen with you all. Okay, here. Go back to the Excel file. Now again, I'm going to quickly summarize what we did earlier, right? We did step 1. Right, determine number of classes. And I already told you we're going to use number of classes. We're using 6 classes. That's a step 1. Step 2, we decide on the class width. And that's turn out to be 10. Okay. Step 3, we just determine the starting point. Right. First, determine the first lower class limit. I decided to go with the 1. But if you guys want to go with a 3 or 0, they all works. You can try that on your own, not a problem. And then ideally speaking, if you are doing a real world demonstration or you want to present this to your audience, you're probably either going to use 1 or 0, right? Either one of those. 1 or 0 would be better. 3, although you do see a clear pattern, but it's not as nice as a 1 or 0. Okay. And 4th step, then we decide on the decide on the first low class, and then we find out first upper class limit. That will be 10. And then we 5th step, we calculate using the class width. we generate. Last step, highly data values. Okay, so now we basically come up with the final result. And that's pretty standard, right? That's the standard procedure of constructing frequency distribution table. And next thing, I'm going to quickly show you there's a much better way of doing this. Right? So now in Excel, you can do a insert. And we're going to insert this called pivot table. I'm going to do it very slowly, right? Insert pivot table. And then we're going to from table range, right? From this. So we're going to highlight the entire data set here, including the title, right? So entire data set. And the table range, we highlight the entire data set, right? From B3 to B27. Okay. Now we're going to put in the existing worksheet, right? We're going to put a frequency distribution table in the existing worksheet. I'm determining on the location. Click on this, and then click on right here. I'm going to put it right here on the D10. Okay. Now, click on OK. So are you guys following so far? Yep. So we can click on OK. Now, I'm going to see these pivot table fields right on the side. Yep, it's right here. So now, let's see. Just check on the X right here. Okay. We see put a check mark on the X, right? That's why title is needed. And then you're going to drag this under the column. No, not a column, my bad. It's under the row. So you see this right here. See a cross sign right there. And just drag down to rows. Okay. Now you're going to see this kind of like raw table, but it's not good yet. Now, right here, you see the values. We're going to take care of that in a second, right? But before this is basically just listing each one of the numbers in the increasing order, but that's not what we want. So now click on 3 right here, right? Any number, you can pick on 9, that's okay. Any numbers here. You just pick one of these numbers. Now I'm gonna pick on 3 and then right click on. You're gonna see an option called group. And you're gonna click on it. Now this is the technical part, right? You're gonna decide on the starting point. Starting at, you can start at 3, right? Remember 3, 1, or 0. Either one of that is good. I decided to go with the 1, right? So you're gonna type in 1 here. Ending at a 59, that's okay. This by is the class width. This is important, right? This is the technical part. We decide on the class width. It's going to be 10, right? And 10 is good. Now, if you click on OK, you're going to see all the classes will come up. And that is exactly what we have when we did it by hand. Yeah. And now, this is not good yet. Right now, they are summing up the number data values in the first class, which is 3 and 9. We add those two numbers, you get 12, right? But that's not what we want. So right here, you see on the sidebar, pivot table fields. You click on this drop-down menu, and you're going to do value field settings. Now, instead of sum, you're going to do count. You're not summing up those numbers, right? You just count how many numbers belong to each class. So that's why we're using the formula called count. Now you pick the count and click on OK. And this frequency distribution will come out properly. Which quickly show you that's exactly what we did. But Excel is so much. You can get the answer fairly quickly. I'm just change the title a little bit. Over here is 24. It's 24 data values. And here we just type in the classes, right? Here we're just going to type in the frequencies. Okay. Now we get that. I'll just quickly format one more time. And we get this. And now we're going to create a histogram out of this. So you highlight the entire table here. And you're going to click on insert. Then I'm going to insert a histogram. It's called 2D column. Okay. And you can drag it to the side. I'm going to drag it to the side. I'm going to do a lot of modification to this right here. So one thing we want to do is basically we don't want a gap, right? We don't want this gap in between classes. So first thing is getting rid of all those gaps. And also you can pick design, right? Go up here under the design. You can pick whatever design you want. See, there's some sample design on top. I'm just going to show you this one. Maybe I'll use this one. This is the design I want. I guess I will still want the frequencies on top. See which one has frequencies. No problem. You can do that later. So click on the plus sign here. You can put in the data table. No, data labels. Now from there, you can see the frequency will be located on top. I click on this plus sign. Like picking a different options here. And I check the data labels. Uncheck it, and then frequencies will be gone. But we want it. Okay, so click on that. You get all the frequencies on top of each rectangle box. Now, next thing, we're gonna get rid of the gap, right? Now, if you click on one of these rectangle box, you're gonna see tiny little open circle for corners. Now you're gonna right click on it, and you're gonna do format data series. Now you're gonna see this drop down menu here. And I'm gonna change the gap width to 0%. In that case, we'll get rid of a gap. But that's not good yet. As you can see, if you get rid of it, in this case, actually, it's quite clear. It's separated by itself. That's good. But again, right click on it, you can do format data series. Now I'm going to show you another option. We can click on this like pen icon here, and then under the field, you're going to do vary color by point. Now, if you pick that option, you're going to get a very nice histogram with a different color assigned to each class. Right, that's what we want. Right, we want a different color to separate different classes, which is pretty nice. That's one thing you can do. A lot of things you can do, right? If you right click on this, format data series, you can do overlap, right? Change this. There's a lot of things you can put in the borders. Let's say the border you want to put in different colors. Put in solid point, solid line, pick color. Let's say pick a fairly bright color. Now you see this border has been filled in different colors. Besides the different colors for each class, the border you can fill in different colors. So a lot of things you can do to modify a graph, make it creative graph here. And again, play around with all of these different options. Right now, a lot of different options. You can do a shadow, right in the background, right there, and you can pick transparency, more transparency, size, bigger size, and blur, different angles, and then distance, all those things. So basically, a lot of things you can play around with to improve your histogram. And then a couple more things before I finish this demonstration is right click on this. I'm gonna put in the axis titles. So right here, x-axis, I'm gonna do this. That I'm gonna change the font size. I'm gonna use 12 and put in a different color. Okay. And then forward. This is classes, y-axis, the frequencies. One more time, I apply the same settings to this. 12 bolding, all borders, and then put in a green color. On the top title, you can just say this is the key, right? All right, and we get a title up here and same format, make it look consistent. So basically, we come up with this very nice design histogram based on the different options there. Do you guys have any question about this? And next thing, I'm gonna show you how to create a pie chart from this histogram right here, right? From the frequency distribution there. So we get a frequency distribution table. Oh. From here, I'm gonna create a pie chart. So again, highlight this, copy this entire table, right? Without the total, don't highlight the total. Just do that. Then we're gonna paste it underneath it. Now we're gonna get percentage, right? Because in the pie chart we want a percentage. So we just want to see the percentage associated with each class. So we can do a quick calculation using Excel. And let's hold it, and then let's get a total. Total frequency should be 24. Okay, so highlight those numbers and click on sum, right? You're gonna get the total, which is 24. And again, get a total 24. Now, if you want to do the percentage, all borders, and you're gonna do each class frequency divided by total frequency. And now for the total frequency, I'm gonna do absolute reference. The dollar sign in front of E, the dollar sign in front of 28. Then you hit enter, get this, right? Now, once you format it properly, then you can just get all the rest of the numbers in one shot, dragging the cell, right? So you get all the percentage. Now, when you do a quick format cells, percentage, 2 decimal place, that's okay. Maybe 1 decimal place, that'd be okay. So meaning first class percentage is going to be 8.3%, right? Etc. So you sum up all the percentage, the total should be 100%. Okay. Now we're just going to quickly show you how to create a pie chart here. So if you do highlight this, right, highlight the entire table, go to insert, and then you're gonna click on this option right here. It's called insert pie, right? You're gonna create a 2D pie. And again, this is a raw pie chart, right? With we're gonna modify a little bit. Yeah, and on the top under the chart design, you can pick a design right here. So there's some sample designs here. You see anyone with the topic percentage. This one, I guess. And this is okay. But yeah. And this is better. And this one is okay. Again, you can adjust it. You can just separate by each pie, right? Each class have different percentage. Right? And then they just run it to the whole percent. Yeah. Instead of using one decimal, by default, Excel will give us the whole percentage each class. And again, we can back. Okay. And again, this is we can change the chart header. This is the pie chart. I'm going to keep it consistent. Use the same color only. Like that. So basically, we get this and just move this a little bit. Similarly, we can do a lot of design here, right? If you do format data series, and again, we can get different options here. And the field, let's say all the borders, we're going to put in a solid field. And all the borders, we're going to put in a vary by color. Yeah. Nice and gradient lines. Okay. And I'm still going to keep it with this, vary by colors. All right. Go back to this. So basically, a lot of different things you can do. You change the background colors, shadows, say different shadows, background transparencies, size, all that. But again, play around with it using the pie chart option in Excel. Okay. Do you have any question about this? How to create a pie chart here? Easy to resize this, right? Just click. All right, so that would be the complete analysis in Excel, and your next project is on the pie chart and histogram. If you go to Excel project submission, then you're going to take a look at this called Excel project number 2. Open that. I'm going to share the screen with you in a second. This is the data set itself. So we have 22 numbers here, right, about the culture literacy score, right? This is like the score of culture literacy from a college student. And again, this is not solid data set, right? It's not solid yet. So you guys start working on your project, you should sort it first. So highlight the entire data set, go to sort and filter. Okay, and then sort smallest to largest. Right, so then now it's sorted. This is very important step, right? You want to make sure you do that. Otherwise, your frequency table or histogram may be off. So it's also, when you sort it, it becomes clear where's the minimum starting point, ending point. Okay. Starting point is 14, ending point is 27, right? That's starting point. You don't need to do this score, right? And you just create you can skip the step 2, right? I mean, you know what? We will do it later. Yes, maybe I'll show you how to do this score next week. But you guys can create a frequency histogram using 6 classes. Okay. and then each class must contain the numbers. So again, you need to follow the procedures for this procedure. We did earlier, this one right here. We're going to start with the determine number of classes 6, right? Decide on the class width, determine the first lower class limit, and find the first upper class limit. Okay. But you can use the pivot table, insert pivot table option here. As soon as you know the class width, proper class width, and the starting point, Excel will generate the table for you. Okay, so that's how you do that. Your project number 2. Okay, I leave it to you guys. Again, if you have any question, you can talk to me about this. During my office hour this Friday, or we can also talk about that next Tuesday in class, right? And again, today is a one-time event. Snowstorm, hopefully no more snowstorm the upcoming months, so we don't have to meet we'll meet in person, right? Probably next week. All right, do you have any question before I end the June section?
Yes, I do.
Sure. go ahead.
Regarding this project, I see that like if we do the max minus the minimum divided by the number of classes,
Mhm.
it would be 3.83.
Yes.
So because of that, maybe like I think that the first upper class limit should be 4 and the first lower class limit should be 1, right?
No, class width to be. Okay, so Antonino, so first thing is, so we have a number of classes, right?
6.
6, very good. Number class is 6. Is 6. And minimum is 14. Maximum 37, right? So you find the difference. So the class width is gonna be 37 minus 14. And then since we want 6, divide by 6. You mentioned earlier, the answer is 3.8333.
3.93, yes.
Right? It goes on forever. And then you're gonna run it up to 4. So the class width
Exactly.
is gonna be 4. And what will be your starting point, like the first lower class limit? What do you think? You can pick the 14, right? That works, definitely, right? 14 works. I think it's easier in this case, because our class width is not a convenient number. So using 14 will be a safe bet. But if let's say you use 13, not a problem, right? But you cannot use
Yes.
10. 10 is too small. So first lower class limit will be 14. That'll be the safest bet. And all of these will belong to a certain class, all the way up to 37. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes, it does. So like the first upper class limit, what would that be?
Yes, first upper class limit. Since the class width is 4, is it going to be 17 or 18?
Why is that?
No, I mean, is it 17 or 18? That's a question. Which
I
one?
would do 17.
Exactly, because between 14 and 17 are 4 numbers, right? 14, 15, 16,
Yeah.
and 17. And that's 4 number. That matches with the class width 4. That's why it gotta be 17, not 18, and not 16. Make sense? But again, if
Yes.
you're using the pivot table, right? If you do insert pivot table here, then all you need to do is the starting point 14 and class width. That's all. That should be enough, right? That should be totally. And then Excel will give you the proper frequency distribution. You don't even need to calculate this first upper class limit. If you don't do it by hand, but if you do it by hand, yeah, you need this first upper class limit. Yes, that's right. But yeah, that's definitely a great question.
Okay, thank you so much.
Also help you guys to study on the second project. Anybody else have a question before I end the section? Okay, so no question. I see you guys next Tuesday. Again, when I finish producing this video, I will post it in our Blackboard course. Okay, I'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Thank you so much,
Bye.
Professor.
Thank
problem.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks so much,
guys.
Professor. Bye.
Yeah, bye guys. Next Tuesday.